Okay, hello, my friends. It's Chazz Says Anything, episode 63, 108 days until opening day, and Queens has its prince. But, and you see what that says, Soto to City Field, Christmas is coming. Okay? If you hear me, and you hear me well, nobody's on yet, that's fine. I do have breaking news, but we will talk about this first. If you like what you see and you like what you hear, please click the subscribe button on the bottom right-hand corner. Like I said, we got breaking news. Breaking news! Left-hander Max Fried and New York Yankees agree to an 8-year, $218 million contract pending a physical, per ESPN's Jeff Passan at 6 p.m. tonight. Love it. Love it. I needed this after Monday and how I was dealing with what I was dealing. Let me read a little bit what it came down around 6 o'clock. It actually says 9 minutes ago, but that was probably an hour ago. From Jason Foster on MLB.com. The Yankees are open for business with money to spend, pivoting from their pursuit of Juan Soto to bring Max Fried on Tuesday evening on an 8-year, $218 million contract, a source told MLB's Mark Feinsand. The team has not confirmed the agreement, but I'm sure they have at some point, and will do that at some point. The pact is the largest ever issued to a left-handed... Okay, now, whatever. Could be the next move for the Yankees, okay. The pact is the largest ever issued... to a left-handed pitcher, and the fourth largest deal of any pitcher, behind Shohei Ohtani's 10-year, $700 million, which is only getting $2 million a year for the next decade. So is that really a biggest deal? And Yoshima, yeah, okay, no, that's not Yoshima. Yoshinobu Yamamoto. I get Yamamoto. That's easy. His is 12 years, 325, and he hasn't earned that yet. That's for darn sure. And then Yankees right-hander Garrett Cole, 9 years, 324, which he just came back for, and he's earned a good amount. I'd say he's definitely earned a good amount for the person who just came back. You see the breaking news: left-hander Max Fried. It's very good. I'm very happy. Fried turns 31 in January of 2025. He is envisioned as the formidable number 2 who would slot behind Cole. I love that. I've been talking about that. I talked about that 2 weeks ago. I've been talking about that at work. I've been talking about that everywhere I can. Fried or Burns was the guy we needed. We got Fried, pending his physical. Love it. Last season with the Braves, Fried pitched to an 11-10 record on the Braves, and a 3.25 ERA in 29 starts, permitting 146 hits and 57 walks over 174 and a third innings. With also 166 strikeouts, he tied for the MLB lead with 2 complete games and 1 shutout. Okay. Good enough for number 2. No doubt in my mind, good enough for number 2. 2-time All-Star, 22 and 24. He'll probably be he pitches well. He'll be an All-Star on this team, on this Yankee team. 3-time Gold Glover. That's interesting. If he's that good in the field, that's just going to benefit the Yankees, who won a World Series in 2021. So he, not only is he a veteran, he's a veteran who's won a championship. That will help these other guys that have not. Remember, Cole has not. Judge has not. DJ, no, he wasn't on the team in 09. I know he's old, but hasn't been on the team. So Fried's acquisition comes 2 years after the Yankees signed left-hander Carlos Rodon to his 6-year, $162 million. So now that'll be 3 years for Rodon next year. Rodon slips to 3, which he probably should be, and that's a good spot for Rodon. You give me Cole, Fried, and Rodon, I'm feeling good. I'll put. I don't know why I went out. Oh, it's because this is on. That's why I paused it. These videos don't understand why I pause these things for a reason. Anyway, so I'm good with that. I'm very good with that. And they got freed, in my opinion, because Rodon and his struggling in 2024, coming back from injury in 2023. Um, what else? Anything else? It says here, with Fried's acquisition, the Bombers' rotation currently is comprised of Cole, Fried, Rodon, AL Rookie of the Year, Heel, Schmidt, Cortez, and Stroman. I'm going to tell you right now, and I was going to save this for later, but I'll say this now. If you have Heel and Schmidt, that would be your 4-5, and I'm okay with that. So you put Heel, Schmidt, 4-5, and you don't go get any more pitchers. You load up your relievers, and I'm good with that too. You still have 2 left on contract, Nestor and Stroman. Now Stroman can go to the bullpen. He'd probably be better there. I got an interesting idea. Make Nestor Cortez, at least to start, your closer. Get him in the mindset of who was it? Who's the Atlanta Brave who went from starter to closer. It will come to me. He does analyzing on with Joe Buck, and I can't think of his name. He's an Atlanta Brave. He played with Glavine. He played with, oh God, it's just not coming to me right now. Got a comment. Maybe this comment has it. Okay, dude, I'm gonna talk about that. Relax. Anyway, that was my first until this breaking news. Okay, start today. Let me get to it. You know, that's what shows do. We get to things. I don't need you breaking news that broke 2 days ago. Okay, so like I said, I really would like to think that Nestor Cortez could be that guy. Or maybe you make Marcus Stroman that guy. Okay? Let's see. It says it's possible the Yankees may now explore trades for Cortez. That's possible. He's earning only $3.95 million. Stroman's another possibility. He's owed $18 million next year and was moved to the bullpen in September. So maybe, okay, go by that, and we reverse what I said. Put Stroman in as your closer. He's making $18 million. Try to trade Cortez. I love the guy, but he's not going where he's going with this team. Not that's for sure. Unless he wants to be a reliever. If he acquiesces himself to be a reliever, then okay, we can keep Stroman. He's at least a veteran who knows what to do. All right, let's get to this and see what the other comment is. Relaxing is not an option. Now to what I was going to originally talk about before Fried became breaking news. The Soto sweepstakes is over. The King has delivered Juan Soto to his queens. Juan Soto to the Mets, 15 years, $765 million. I would have put million, but it would have taken too much room. The largest contract ever to this date. When this came down Sunday night, watching that Dallas, it wasn't Dallas, it was somebody, whoever was playing Sunday night football, which I have so many papers, I'm not going to. So I'm watching that, okay? And my initial feeling was anger. My initial feeling was anger towards 2 things, or 2 people. One was Soto. I'll explain. I was angry at Soto for choosing a team I felt was inferior to the Yankees. A team where you were in a lineup with Aaron Judge batting behind you. You were in a role where you got this contract because of that. That was part of the anger. I'm not going to fault him for the money. I will never begrudge a player, athlete, person, whatever money they want. That's not what I do. What I do is why you go for the money. Why are you there? What drove him there? And I have an idea why. And we'll get to that. But my other ire that I had was for Brian Cashman, Hal Steinbrenner, Randy Levine, and every other person who works in that stadium to do what they should have been doing to try to get the contract. Those were my initial feelings on Sunday into Monday. And let me tell this to my friends. I have to roll my sleeves up. And I'll get to your comments start today in a minute. I have to tell this to my friends who are Mets fans. The ones that poked the bear being me. You're my friends, I love you to death. But don't text me at 6:30 in the morning. Or don't go on my Facebook page and say, let's go Mets, when I make a rant on Monday morning. You should know better. I'm going to say it loud. I'm going to tell my friend tomorrow night when I see him. And the other friend I don't see, and that's fine. But I made it clear, and then he made it clear that it was not intentional to be mean. And that's fine. But don't poke the bear. I am a nice guy. Don't put me in a bad mood. Now my chair's put me in a bad mood because I keep falling. There we go. 5 comments. So I'm curious what Start Today has to say here. Oh, Bucking Blues back too. Hi guys, Soto to the Mets. Yeah. I'm glad you two are happy about this. He's talking about it now. Do you think Yankees dropped the ball? Well, I'll get to that. We live, you Chazz? Oh, yeah, someone doesn't know how to type. What's wrong with the chair? The chair just keeps going down. That's what's going on. All right. Do I think the Yankees dropped the ball? Almost 48 hours later? No, I don't. I did initially. I think the Yankees did as much as they could with what they could. I think there's something else into this with the money. The money is important. There's no doubt money is important. But what pushed him over the edge, and I have it through a source that I will be talking about later. I have it through a source that he knows somebody within the Mets organization or a Mets reporter. And there was a report that came out yesterday as well. So that backed it up. The report is that Yankee Stadium for the players is not as familial as Citi Field is. That Steve Cohen, and especially his wife, and sorry, I'll call her Mrs. Cohen because I don't remember her name, have made the Mets very family-oriented when it comes to the players. This is why you might not see Pete Alonso leave. And I'll get to why he should leave. But it's a very familial team, and I think that's what won Juan Soto over. And why would I think that? What's the story that came out? That somebody in his family was kicked out of Yankee Stadium during the year. His father, his uncle, somebody. And if that's true, then I'm not going to begrudge him to leave. That's his choice. He wants to have more family. You probably saw the video of him finding out he got the contract. He's in a hot tub, and they're pouring beer on him in the hot tub. From what I've heard, they're family members who were there with him pouring that beer on him. So, be good riddance, I'll say to an extent, because he didn't do what he was supposed to do, which technically was help us win a championship last year. Him and every other Yankee dropped the ball on that field. And as within the last 24 hours, and I gotta say, I'm a little shocked to see it, and it seems like people are trying to underscore Juan Soto. And it might be a lot of Yankee fans. But people are trying to say he's a very bad outfielder. For what he gives you as a hitter and his OPS, his defense doesn't hurt you as much. It didn't hurt us, that's for damn sure. It didn't hurt the Yankees. We still won games 8-6. We lost games 2-1, but doesn't everybody? Now, the question is he worth $765? Is anybody? No. But that's what they had to do. Again, like I said before, I'm not going to begrudge what he's given as a player, athlete, whatever. Wasn't upset when Patrick Mahomes got his 500, and now he's been killed with how many people are over him, including Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott's the worst one. Dak Prescott he's injured now. He hasn't played well before that, and he's making $60 million a year. He's going to make 51 roughly if he stays the entire contract. I think the Mets will be fine the first 10 years. We'll see what the last 5 are, but the first 10, I think you'll be fine. All right. Another comment. Your hair looks great today. Well, my friend, I just got a haircut today too. That's kind of why. Kim, who does my hair, she's gonna probably, if she ever were to see this, if her husband's watching or were to watch, I had to gel it up a little. It was a little off because of the rain and everything else. I needed to fix it, so I decided to fix it. I'm not wearing a hat today. I'm in black, not doing any promotion or anything like that. Another comment. Hey, Brian's here. What's up, Brian? How you doing? Okay. So, let's talk about this deal real quick. Juan Soto to the Mets, richest known to history. Yankee slugger, 15 years, $765 million. Now, I'm guessing, too, he's got to do a physical, which I said before with our pitcher we just got. Okay, he talks about Shohei Ohtani. They also say they're talking about precedents to the Hall of Fame. For example, here he's on a list of 3,500 plate appearances and 150 OPS plus. He is 6th out of 9. The men above him, you'll know. Everybody here will know. Ty Cobb, 1st. Mickey Mantle, 2nd. Mike Trout, 3rd. Jimmy Fox, 4th. Roger Hornsby, 5th. And Juan Soto is 6th. He keeps on this track. He's a Hall of Famer, no doubt. There's no doubt. Okay? Yeah, see, but here's the reason why he doesn't really probably deserve a $765 million contract. His career to date, 713 plate appearances. So obviously not a lot. He's 26, or will be 26. A 288 batting average. Who has a 288 batting average that gets $765 million? Nobody. He got it because the competition between the two teams. On base percentage, 419. Slugging percentage, 569. 569 is good. It's not great. Judge is higher than that. 569, I think he's way higher than that. Ohtani's probably higher than that. There's a couple people higher than 569 slugging. And 41 home runs. 41 home runs. Oh, I'm sorry. Wait, that was his 2020. Okay, that was his 2024 season. Sorry. That wasn't his career. That was 2024 season. He had 713 plate appearances. That's actually a lot. for plate appearances. But 41 home runs, and where did he have it? In Yankee Stadium. And most of those home runs that he had in Yankee Stadium went over right field. Not saying it's a thing, but it is. Not much more to say from this article. He looks special from day one. Yada. Okay. That article, gone. Mets land. I don't think there's much different in this one. What's the comment we got here? What about calling you up in the early AM about... Yeah, like I said, I had a couple... Well, one person who texted me, I will have a chat with him. He thought I was joking. I'm going to paraphrase the text messages, and I don't think he's watching. Ricardo, you might watch, who knows. But we have to have a little chat about when I'm actually being very serious and when I'm not. That's the problem with texting, is you can't tell when someone's serious and when someone's not. If I put LOL, haha, I'm being funny. But if I don't put LOL, I'm not being funny. I think start today, Brian and Bucking. Was it Bucking? Shit. I keep forgetting, guys. Comments, let's see. Bucking Blue. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Bucking Blue. All right, let's see. This is more stuff from the, this is MLB.com. This is a bunch of other stuff. Yeah, I thought there would be different articles. It seems to be the same damn articles. Okay, so 2 articles that are basically the same thing. Now, life after Soto. What's plan B for the Yankees? Who fills the needs for the 2025 team? So, article number 1 from Brian Hawk, MLB.com. He's the Yankee guy. I've talked about him before. This was 12:31 a.m. that night, that Monday morning. The Yankees made it clear that retaining Juan Soto was their top priority, but that didn't happen. Quietly, members of the front office began creating a plan B. It was a pivot they hoped that they were never to need. As the Yankees waited to hear the 26-year-old Soto, okay, I don't care about that. I didn't read the whole sentence. As the Yankees waited to hear the 26-year-old Soto would extend his stay and keep generational talent in the Bronx, they were busy exploring alternative options, including hosting virtual calls with free agent pitchers Corbin, Burns, and Max Fried. Well, obviously Max Fried they got. Both hurlers now could shift to the top of the list with the rest of the free agent class that could include, and I will go to the next one, the top free agent pitchers besides Burns and who I took out Fried, Jack Flaherty from Detroit, and Roki Sasaki from Japan. Oh, and apparently the Mets are looking at him. And I would not be a happy Met fan if I had 2 Japanese pitchers like the Dodgers do on my team. Because look at the Dodgers, who have 2 Japanese pitchers. One who is yet to pitch, but he won an MVP because he's a great hitter. The other had a bad start, but he flourished to have a decent year. But when you get paid that much money, Yamamoto, you're not supposed to just have a decent year. So you have, who is your number 1 Mets? I forget. Pitcher, who he was hurt most of last year. He played pretty well. But Roki, who's younger, is a good try. I would hope he's not on that 6-day thing that everybody else is when you come out of Japan. He's only been there 3 years, so in Japan, from what I'm reading. And if that's the case, hey, Mets, go for it. I wouldn't mind Burns, I wouldn't mind Flaherty, but like I said previous, with the pitchers we have, we may not need either one of those guys. Plain and simple. And then the hitters, So I have on my board third baseman Alex Bregman, outfielder Anthony Santander, first baseman Pete Alonso, and first baseman Christian Walker. Also on this list are potential trades for Cody Bellinger for outfield, which would be interesting. I wouldn't mind that. Put him in left. And I'll get to why I'd put him in left and Judge is going to go to right. Or closer, Tanner Scott. I don't know where he's from. I don't know if it's Chicago Cubs, Chicago White Sox, or somewhere indifferent. Now, at minimum, the Yankee shopping list includes a first baseman, another infielder, potentially a second baseman, unless Jazz Chisholm moves there. 2 outfielders, rotation help, and relief arms. Okay, here we are. So, my thinking, because I have the depth chart up, and I'm going to go over it. We have 4 starting rotation pitchers. Garrett Cole, Carlos Rodon, Clark Schmidt, Luis Gil. We just got our 5th. I think we're good there. Maybe we get one more. Or we have Stroman. We have Nestor. Maybe they back up, be the long men. Who knows? And obviously we need a closer. Unless Weaver, Leiter, or Cousins. Or you make the other 2, Stroman and or Cortez, a closer. Because I don't know who this closer is. I know who he is, but do you want to get him and have to give up something? Unless you can give up Nestor for him. Now, Glaber's not coming back. For all intents and purposes, Glaber's not coming back. So we need a second baseman. Why not Jazz move to second base and we just get a third baseman? Then there's 2 options. 3, actually. First option, get Bregman. It's going to be a lot, but get Bregman. Second option, trade for Arenado, because Cardinals may be willing to trade Arenado. Third, which I don't know here, but you could do here, you have Oswaldo Cabrera, who could play third. You have DJ LeMahieu, who could play third. You also have people in the minors who can play third. It's a possibility. Those are the 3 options there. 2 outfielders. I don't think we need 2 outfielders. We have Trent Grisham. We have Jason Dominguez. Jason Dominguez is the key here. You have Giancarlo. He's our DH mostly. You have Judge. He'll go back to right. You have Jason Dominguez to play center a good amount of time. You need a left fielder. And Trent Grisham's not that guy all the time. I would want to bring up Shane Spencer, but is he ready yet? I don't think not Shane Spencer. Spencer Jones. I don't think Spencer Jones is ready yet. I would love to say he's ready. And this chair is keep going down. I'm getting really upset. Okay. So the left fielder. That's the tough one. But, like I said earlier, Santander. You give me Santander, and I think we're good. So that would be the lineup. Well, this is just a bunch of other stuff that ho-hum, Soto. Yeah, I'll hold on to these to see how long it lasts. Does it last? Is it good or bad? Now, I printed off something. I think this was also from The Athletic, actually. I printed it from The Athletic. 5 ways the Yankees can salvage winter. Number 1, and this is where I kind of got the idea, Judge is almost certainly going to be shifted back to right field. Jason Dominguez, longtime prospect, can now come up. And that's the honest, God's honest truth. Santander and or Teoscar Hernandez could play left field. So imagine we can get a Dodger coming to the Yankees. So if a left fielder is Santander or Hernandez, third baseman is Bregman, and second is Chazz. Oh, and we need first base, Christian Walker, or DJ. DJ can play first. He's actually a better first baseman than he is a third baseman. If you want to put DJ at first and split him with somebody else, Maybe put Aaron Judge there. Maybe do something. Maybe Cabrera. Because here's the thing: Cabrera's a switch hitter. Oswaldo Cabrera's a switch hitter. Number 2, Bregman. This guy really thinks Bregman, and I kind of agree with that. Number 3, Christian Walker at first. We're going to be spending a lot of money. Number 4, Burns, Fried, Walker, Buehler, and Crochet. Yeah, getting Crochet out of Chicago is going to be tough. And then, obviously, Clay Holmes signed with the Mets. Tommy Kahnle's a free agent. We don't want him back. So that's going to be an interesting... do they keep... Well, they're going to keep Weaver. They're going to keep Leiter. My guess, they're going to keep Cousins. De Los Santos and Brubaker might go back to the minors. That's my thought on that. We got 5 comments. Let's see. Senga, thank you. Appreciate it. Senga, that's the guy. So if you get Senga and Sasaki, I don't know if that's a good thing. Hernandez? Yeah. No. Okay. I'm calling you out on this one to start today. You think our team should get Alonso? Keep him. I will say this, though. I don't want the Mets to sign. I'm sorry, rephrase. I don't want the Yankees to sign Alonso. And here's why. Alonso's a 220 to 230 hitter. He hits home runs from time to time, but remember, he's right-handed. Can he go opposite? Yes. Has he gone opposite? Yes. Is he a great first baseman fielder? No, he's probably better than LeMahieu. But here's the problem. He wants $30 million. I'd rather go get Bregman and Teoscar and or Santander and put somebody at first base that I have already. Hell, maybe there's somebody in the minors that's not Ben Rice. I don't want I don't want Pete Alonso at all. I'm just no. Take him back on the Mets. Your Uncle Stevie's got the money. He could if you make him a lifelong Met, Pete Alonso's going in your Met Hall of Fame. I don't know. And here's the thing. That would be an interesting one because if you put Soto in front of Pete, I'm not saying Pete is Judge, but that would be truly an interesting dynamic if you had number 2 or 1. Because here's the funny thing. I see Lindor as a 1. But he could be a 2, and you have somebody else at 1. Some fast runner at 1. So can you imagine if you had a switch hitter in Lindor, the lefty in Soto, and then the righty in Alonso? Like, what first baseman are you going to get unless you get Walker or you get, I don't know who else. Arenado's, like I said, Arenado's the third baseman. You think you could trade for the guy in Toronto, Vladimir Guerrero Jr.? You think you could trade for him? That's a possibility. I mean, they won't trade to the Yankees, but they might trade to the Mets. But who do you trade? And that's a tough one. So yeah, no Alonso here. I don't want him. I'm not. If it happens, okay, but that's 3 right-handed hitters. I'm not big on 3 middle right-handed hitters. Not. And I can't imagine they are either. All right, lots to get to here. Rumors around the winter meetings and the MLB draft lottery. So I'm not going to get into the rumors. I've actually gone long as it is. But I will talk about the draft lottery. I just watched it while I was setting up. So I took some notes too. Top 18 got picked. Okay. And it was one of those balls, those lottery balls. Top 6 is where they did the odds. 6th place, not 6th place, but the 6th team in the 2025 draft is going to be the Pittsburgh Pirates. This is their 6th straight year in the top 10. the Pittsburgh Pirates. Fifth is St. Louis Cardinals. They had the 13th slot and moved all the way up to 5. That's impressive. In 4, Colorado Rockies, who were the number 1 odds team, now is the 4th team drafting. 3rd team drafting, who had the 15th best odds out of 18 teams. The 15th. And they're 3rd, Seattle Mariners. 2nd, and they've been in the top 10 a little bit, not too much, Los Angeles Angels. Okay? They got the number 2 pick. Leaves one team. One team who hasn't had a number 1 pick since 2010. That player was Bryce Harper. The year before that, they also had a number 1 pick. They got Steven Strasburg. That team is the Washington Nationals. So the Washington Nationals have the number 1 draft pick going into next 2025's draft in June. That'll be interesting. 2 comments. I love lotto balls, how they pop around. Do you remember watching it on TV? Yeah, well, with what was it? With NBA did that mostly. This is new for MLB. All right, so a couple comments on these. Up next things. Luis Severino. This happened earlier, but I still want to talk about it today. Athletics. This is interesting. He goes from the Yankees to the Mets to the Athletics. Now remember, it's another thing. We can't call the Athletics the Oakland Athletics anymore. They're not in Oakland. So right now, they're just the Athletics. So the Athletics gave a lot of money to Luis Severino. I forget the amount. It's over $100 million. They basically made him his ace. Their ace. So Luis Severino, for his whole career, has never been an ace. But now here he will be. And that is very interesting. I'm going to have to watch that for a while. Next, San Francisco Giants. This came down today. It actually came down a couple days ago, but he did his physical. His physical, he passed. San Francisco Giants officially signed shortstop Willy Adames to his 7-year, $182 million contract. My God. I went away from it. MLB. I got to go back to MLB. I wanted to see. Let me just go to MLB.com. Nope, not com. I wanted to see what his. Where is it? Can I go? Damn, he's not even on the top 7 with all the latest news going on. Okay, so let me go to Google real quick. I think I have him in my Google. Yep, there he is. Okay. Stats. So, Willy Adames, career. 3,227 at-bats, 800 hits, 982 strikeouts. He's a shortstop. 982 strikeouts. His average, now, this is his average since 2018 when he was on the Rays. And then through 2021 to 2024, he was on the Brewers. His batting average to date, career-wise, getting a $182 million contract. He's batting .248. Batting .248, getting $182 million. I really need my kid playing baseball. My God, if you can make that much money. Now, granted, Soto's making 7 times, or maybe 6 times that. And his average is about a .288. But he hits home runs. I don't see any home runs on here now. Granted, they don't talk about it for some reason. Let's go to Baseball Reference. That's always a good one to look at. Home runs. He's got 150 career home runs. Born September 2nd, 1995. So he's 29. Yeah, no, he's 31. I'm sorry, I said it before. He's 31. Made his debut in 2018. He's from the Dominican Republic, actually. I did not know that. Santiago, Dominican Republic. But like I said, he does not have big numbers. And the fact that he's getting $182 million is amazing. Got 2 comments here. Let's see. Really? Comments. There we go. I've been practicing my pitching. I throw a mean slider. Yeah. You want to be a pitcher? Yeah, go for it. But I don't know. You might be a little old to do it. Time to cash it and good luck. Yeah, there's, you know what? Spring training. Really? Oh. Give me a second, guys. This just froze. All right, I think I'm better now. Anyway, so yeah, I don't think that warrants his contract. What I do think is that these guys are getting very good contracts, and I think I lost both MLB. And okay, no big deal. Um, let's go to this real quick. Okay, so I already said this. My bad. I should have. I don't know. I already talked about. Why did I already talk about it? A rumor. Okay, that was stupid of me. Anyway, next, Jorge Posada. Is he worthy of an MLB Hall of Fame accolade? Unfortunately, I don't think he is. I don't think he's got the numbers. Somebody on social media, I think it was Facebook or Instagram, put it out there, and I truly don't think that that's a good thing. Okay, or a real thing. I think he's a Hall of Fame Yankee. If he doesn't already have a plaque in uh, center field, he probably will. So I don't begrudge him to become a Hall of Famer, honestly, but you know it is what it is. If he doesn't, you know, I just don't think it. Period. You're freezing now. You're back. Yeah, I know. So I think it had to do with the bleacher, the, the baseball thing I was on. That wasn't MLB. I might need a new chair for Christmas. All right, so let's go to this. This happened this weekend, and it was a big thing. So I'm gonna be done with baseball. There was a lot of baseball. 45 minutes almost worth of baseball. The 2024-2025 NCAA College Bowl playoff bracket. It's now a thing. If you didn't see that this weekend, this happened. Oregon got the first bid, got the number 1 seed, playing in the Rose Bowl, and they'll play. Hold on, I have the paperwork. Yeah. I don't know why I had that. That might have been 2 weeks ago. So that's that. Sorry, guys. There we go. Okay. So first is Oregon. We'll be playing in the Rose Bowl. Second is Georgia, who will be playing in the Sugar Bowl. They're not giving me dates on this one, but there is dates. Third is Boise State, playing in the Fiesta. And fourth is Arizona State, playing in the Peach. Okay? Now, we get to the... Oops. This was supposed to go here. Okay. First round games are as follows. Now, back real quick. All those 4 teams won their conference championships. I've been following. They're very good teams. I saw a lot of those games on Saturday. They were very good games. Now, the first round games go as such. Clemson goes to Texas. Tennessee goes to Ohio State. SMU goes to Penn State. Indiana goes to Notre Dame. Okay? I should talk about this before I go into anything else. Why did I... Hold on one second. This has got to go here. Okay. So that's the college playoff right there. It's a very unique thing that college is doing, and I'm glad they're doing it. We got 3 comments. You love taco bowls, Bucking Blue? That's funny. Start today. Ask what's your favorite bowl. All this bowl talk's got me hungry. I'm going to get some food. I'll be back, everyone. Okay, so yeah, I just got Bucking Blue right now. So hopefully, Start Today sees this, because I'm going to be talking about this, which is a thing that I hope everybody that watches gets into this. I am doing a Chazz's 2024-2025 NCAA College Football Challenge. $10 per set of picks. It's on poolhost.com. It's on the page that I'm using already for my confidence pool. 36 bowl games, 11 playoff games, equal to 47 total picks for $10. Already 6 players are in. Email me there at chazzroyalt@gmail.com for details. I need to send you the link. There's a link to get into it. So this is how the college playoff looks. Okay, it's very similar to an NCAA bracket for basketball. Okay, that's that. This piece of paper times 3 pages are every bowl game that's being played this year. All 36. All the way starting December 14th at the Celebration Bowl, wherever that is, and the Veterans Bowl, wherever that is. All the way to the last one that's a regular bowl is the Bahamas Bowl on January 4th. Now, those other games are played in December on the 20th. There's dates for everything. You want to get in this pool, you need to get in before this Saturday. 47 need to be picked by Saturday at noon. Like I said, it's a nice, easy pool. If you want to do more than one, you can, but it's, like I said, it's $10 per. And then, like I said, I'll come up with an amount depending on how many people. If it's less than 20, I'm only going to give it to one person. We'll figure it out. Okay? And if you haven't followed college, honestly, it's not that hard. Not that my coworker would say it's not that hard. He did win, and he doesn't know much about college. You don't have to know much about college to do well in this. You have to maybe do a little research and then figure it out. Okay? Pretty simple, right? I think so. Got one comment? Do you have a favorite bowl? You're talking about a football bowl? Not really. I don't. There's no... I've never been to a college football game, so I don't care to, say I have a favorite this, I have a favorite that. I like the Rose Bowl. I like what those games have been, but a lot of those games are usually our local teams in those games, because the Big Ten has always put either Ohio State, Penn State, or someone that's in the Big Ten that our teams are in locally, and they go to the Rose Bowl. So that's where I've been thinking about that. Okay, so that actually goes with that. This goes with this. That goes with this. Okay. So that's my answer for that about favorite bowls. I don't really have one. I do have a couple picks, though. So because there's 2 games going to be played on Saturday. The next game after that is like a Tuesday, I think. So it'll be that day. So I'll pick those that day, which means I'll already have them picked because, like I said, all the picks have to be on Saturday. So I'm picking Jackson State to beat South Carolina State 35-27 in the Celebration Bowl. I'm also picking South Alabama to beat Western Michigan 45-17. So those are my two picks. Also, we got in college, it's a big thing. The Heisman Trophy is this weekend. It's actually Saturday if I'm correct. These are the four finalists. Dylan Gabriel, quarterback out of Oregon. You got Travis Hunter, the wide receiver cornerback out of Colorado. The dual player who plays about 120 plays a game. Which, if you think he goes to the pros, he's not going to be doing that. Ashton Gentry, running back out of Boise State. He could be a late first round, early second round pick. And Cam Ward, cross my fingers, hopefully my new quarterback for the New York Giants next year. And my pick, honestly, I think it's going to be okay. My pick, who I want, I'll do two picks: the one I want, and who I think it's actually going to be. Because they're two different people. The one I want, who I think deserve it more than any of these guys, is Travis Hunter. That's who I think it should get it. Who I think is going to get it is Dylan Gabriel. That's who I think is going to get it. All right, so that's that. We got one comment. Favorite college team? That I do. I got a couple. Locally, my favorite team is Rutgers. Like, I'm a big Rutgers guy. I love going to Rutgers games. I've been to 2 or 3. Not a lot. But the crowd is great, even though they used to lose a lot. I'd love to go again now that they're winning. So who knows? We'll see on that. I have an affinity to Notre Dame. I'm Irish. So the Fighting Irish I have an affinity to that. I grew up in the mid 80s when Notre Dame was pretty good. So was Miami, so was other teams, Boston College. This freaking chair. So Notre Dame is definitely up there as one of the teams I do follow. The other team, which is now very good this year, I think they're going to be in a bowl. I could be wrong. I haven't looked at all the bowls yet. I wanted to get this done first, and then I can look at the bowls. So Navy, the Naval Academy. My cousin is in the Navy. I've talked about my cousin before. I have an affinity to the Navy and Army because my grandfather was in Army. So I don't think he went to West Point though. My cousin actually went to Annapolis, and won't pat him on the back. He did actually was valedictorian in 1995 when he graduated. So I have an affinity to Navy and Army as well. Other than that, I don't have any other college teams. There's one other, and it's because they've always been good, and now they've had issues in the past, but they're good again. And we had a running back that came from Penn State. The Giants did. Penn State is the team, and now my kids live near there, so they I'm trying to gravitate them to actually watch them to get to understand what Penn State does. Like that's a school near them that they could actually watch. Well, I had 4 for a second. Now I have 0 or 1. Anyway, very interesting. Now I had 4. Comment. It's wet outside, but I made it back very good at the start today. It's going to be wet outside for another day and a half. Probably tomorrow will be the last day. How many bowls are there? There's 36 bowls. Actually, there's 40, but there's 36 bowls that we're picking for the bowl part. Go back and watch that. I'm not going to go back over. You want into that pool, you got to email me. Okay? Simple as that. But there's 36 bowls, and there's 11 games in the playoffs, which 4 of those 11 are bowls. Okay? So, I think 4 of 11 are the bowls. Now you got me thinking that there might be 6 bowls. Nope, that's not it. You know what? No, it's here. Yep, that's it. A lot of paper you hear, I'm sure. Okay, the semifinals are 2 bowls. I apologize. So there's 6 bowls in the playoffs. 6? Yeah, 6. There's 6 bowls in the playoffs. The last 2 before the championship game in Atlanta is the Cotton Bowl and the Orange Bowl. Those are the semifinal games. So, yeah, so there's 6 bowls plus 36, that's 42. 42 bowls that are actually played in the college game playoffs and playoffs. Now, all right, so I picked who I think is Travis Hunter, who actually that's who I want, and then who I think is Dylan Gabriel. Okay, next, the confidence pool from the last 2 weeks, or actually 3 weeks technically, but we'll do the first 2 that I missed. Confidence pool winners, it was a tie for first. Andrew Fuentes and Lisa Flood tied at 150 apiece. They split the pot. There was no second. That is what it is. Week 13. You see it in her name. You see the number. Guess what that number is? That's a perfect number. She went 16 for 16. Khadijah Wakefield. Congratulations. I don't think anybody's done that in my pool. At least not in this part of the pool where it's online. Khadijah Wakefield. I don't know if you got that from your husband. You did this yourself. You got a little lucky. Whatever it was. 272. That's amazing. 16 for 16. Like 8 of us had 1 wrong or 2 wrong where we were low. Mike Wojcik got second place. Mike's won before. He's been first place. He was first place in the first 2 weeks, if I remember correctly. So Mike got up there at 268. I think I had 260. That's how well I did that week. Okay. So confidence pool for week 14. I didn't put it on because I printed it. Now, can I find it? Well, I know who the winner is. I just don't know how many points he had. Winner was Jeff Zawadsky. His nickname on the profile is Terrorist. That's what he wants. He won because Cincinnati won. Dallas would have won. I would have won. It happens. Second place. Now that was interesting. Second place. There was a 5-way tie. Now how do I break up a 5-way tie? Tiebreaker. This is everybody picks a number with the 8 for the Monday night game, and one person got it right on the button. 47 points. And that was Matthew Velasquez. Congratulations. 47 points on the button. 3 people who actually, weirdly enough, they were favorite picks. So people I put in their favorites because they didn't get in before a certain time. I can do that before everything goes down at 8:15. I do it at 7:30. And 3 people got favorite picks, and they ended up in that same spot with different numbers that were my numbers from the over-under. So it was pretty close with the over-under. That's a funny start. I don't even know what you're talking about, Bucking Blue. I might be something I said before. Do I take the winners out to eat? No, I don't. That I pay them. Why would I take winners out to eat? Come on, dude. That is not what I do. All right. I'm not going to talk about the rest of week 14. Well, I've talked about a lot. Okay. I mean, the Giants look bad. Jets didn't look great. Kansas City, please tell me what you're doing. I mean, winning 19-17, it's mind-boggling what you're doing. Patrick Mahomes, and this is where I'm going to pontificate, has truly underperformed all year long. I don't know why. He's got the weapons. He's got Kelsey. He's got Pacheco. He's got all these other guys. Why is he not throwing for 250 to 300 a night? Tell me why. I mean, seriously, I don't. Sorry. I don't know why he's not throwing. I mean, and now they're playing Cleveland next week. I don't want to put him in, but I almost have no choice to do it. I truly, I don't know. I mean, I forgot I had this up. What am I doing? So let me go to this pull home. I can actually go to the rest of the week. I'm silly, stupid, whatever you want to call it. All right, 3 picks in. That's wonderful. Mike Wojcik. Okay. Let's go to pool results for week 14. Let me go over quickly what happened. So Detroit beat Green Bay on Thursday by 3. Okay. Not, Detroit. I'm going to talk about them in a minute. Jets lose in overtime to Miami. Miami should have won that game hands down. They did not, but they finally did actually win. Atlanta got destroyed by Minnesota. Sorry to start today. You know what? It happens. Hey, Start, I'd go out to eat with you if you want to. That's funny. Giants and New Orleans. The Giants never should have been in that game. New Orleans kept that game way too close. Made a lot of people sweat, including me, because I had New Orleans at 11. Philly barely beat Carolina. Now, people were busting on Philly about this, and Carolina is not a bad team. They're just they got a bad record, and they don't know how to finish a game. But Carolina will be in every game. Understand that. For the next 4 weeks, they'll be in every game. One of these days, they'll finish. We'll see. Are you two just talking on your own now? Pizza or Castle, I'm down. Yeah, okay. Now they're just talking amongst themselves. Pittsburgh and Cleveland. Pittsburgh doubled up Cleveland almost. Cleveland is a shell of themselves, even with Jameis Winston. We'll see what Jameis can do against Kansas City. Tampa Bay took out Vegas. No surprise there. The game that shocked everybody. 2 games, truly. Jacksonville beat Tennessee. With a backup quarterback, Jacksonville beat Tennessee. 10-6. That's how bad both teams are. Seattle beats Arizona. Should have saw that one. And I'm a little upset I didn't pick that. But like Arizona's hit and miss. Truly hit and miss. Seattle, they're legit. Like they could win the NFC West. They really could. San Francisco's got to watch out. Buffalo loses in LA to the Rams, 44-42. That killed me because I really thought that was a Buffalo game right there, that they'd eke it out. They did not. San Francisco over Chicago. Chicago's another dead team. They fired their coach weeks back. They haven't gotten any better. Don't think they actually will. I talked about this game, Sunday night game. This the Sunday night game I was watching. Kansas City kept the Chargers in that game the entire time. I don't understand. I had it at 7. I've now lowered my pick this week because I don't trust Kansas City to actually finish a game. They've already lost one. They could lose another. And then the last game, Dallas, I needed to win. They did not. I had Cincinnati at 1. So I won the game. I actually I lost 3 games out of 13, so I went 10-3. Not bad. I've had a good record over the last 6-7 weeks, but just not good enough to some of the other people that are playing. So here's my pick 6 for next week. These are my picks I've already picked. We got Minnesota over Chicago. I think Chicago, like I said, is done. That's one of the 2 Monday night games. And for everybody who watches, who's in my pool, who hasn't done their picks yet, there's 30 people that have not done their picks yet. Okay? There are 2 Monday games. The second Monday game is your game to pick for the tiebreaker. Just so it's out there. I'll put that in an email later. The Monday night game, that's the second game, is the pick for your tiebreaker. Okay. And the Vegas game, that's the Vegas game, Atlanta over Vegas. I am picking Atlanta over Vegas. Start today. You have my blessing that your team shall win this game, whoever quarterback is in. If it's Penix, if it's the I like it guy, I forgot his name already. Um, Atlanta should win, and I think they're in Vegas. They're actually in Vegas, so be prepared. That could be Atlanta's got to show up. San Francisco over Rams. I was very tentative on this, very tentative, but I feel San Francisco wins this game because that's actually Thursday night game. It's in San Francisco. That's the reason I'm giving them the win. Dallas over Carolina. Dallas can't be that bad to lose to Carolina. Now, granted, Philly almost did. Kansas City almost did. Can Dallas? Yeah, I think Dallas wins, but anything's possible. Baltimore over the Giants. Here's what scares me on that. The Giants have nothing to play for. They're just going to play to keep their jobs. That scares me. That they're going to go into Baltimore. Oh, no, I'm sorry. They're home. Oh, you know what? They're home. They lose. Forget it. They lose at home. They always lose at home. Baltimore will win that game. And I'm going to wear my Giants stuff. The Giants, anytime I wear my Giants jerseys or whatever during a game, they lose this year. I'm good. They will lose. And Philly over Pittsburgh, that's in Philly. So that's another reason I think Pittsburgh's going to be strong. Pittsburgh might cover. Whatever the cover is, I think Pittsburgh covers. But Philly's going to win that game. Got a comment. You're holding me accountable. Well, if they lose, how are you going to hold me accountable? I don't even know who you physically are. You'd have to jump me, and I wouldn't even know who the heck you are, dude. All right, news and notes going into week 15. There's not many. We're getting into the playoffs, That's the news and notes. Now, there is one thing I want to talk about. Are the Detroit Lions for real? I think so. A lot of other people don't. There are people picking Philadelphia as their number one team in the league. Stephen A., Dan Orlovsky, other people. I think the Detroit Lions are number one. Yes, they have a defense that's often injured, including their number one, Aiden Hutchinson. I get that. But, and this is a big but, I'm confident with the coach and Jared Goff. They just have this aura about them, if you know what I mean. And that's why I feel Detroit will probably run the table. I think only losing one. They lose. Hold on. Let's look at Detroit's games over the next 4 weeks. I can do that. Schedule. Schedule by team. There we go. Let's go to Detroit. So Detroit's next 4 games. Like I said, Buffalo, actually from the look of it, Buffalo is their second toughest game. And that's at home. And you know what their first toughest game is? Another one at home. Their last week. So they got Buffalo in Detroit. 2 games away. At Chicago, at San Francisco. Chicago, they should walk that game. San Francisco, a little tougher. But I think they can win that game. The Minnesota game, if they are 15-1 or 14-2 going into that last game, do they sit their guys? Do they play them half the game? I don't know. I mean, that's going to be a tough game going into that game. So I have faith in Detroit. They're going to be a tough team to beat. There's no doubt in my mind. I should wear a Giants helmet for one. Then you wouldn't see me. I don't. No, I'm not wearing a helmet. I don't. Actually, the one I have doesn't fit anyway. So, yeah, I have it hanging up. That's it. All right, I'm done with football, guys. I'm truly done with football. Next, wrestling. So I didn't talk about this. I'll go quick with this. The matches from War Games. This Roman Reigns and his crew versus Solo Sikoa and his crew. If you saw it, Solo got his butt kicked. Going back and forth, it was good. That was the best match out of all the matches. And 3 people got hurt after this match. Jimmy Uso's out now. Jacob Fatu is out now, and he might be out for a long time. Jacob Fatu, and one of the Tongas. I think it's Tama Tonga that's out as well. No, I'm sorry, not Jacob Fatu's out. Big Bronson Reed is out. Sorry, so it's Tama Tonga, and then Big Bronson Reed. And Bronson Reed was the one who he got hurt hard. He might be out for a while. So Roman Reigns and the guys, they all win. It was fun. Yada yada. Like I said, probably good match. Probably best match of the night. Gunther versus Damian Priest. Not so great, especially the ending. When Damian Priest loses because of Finn Balor. Not feeling good on that. It happened. Another comment. A Chazz Say Anything helmet would be really good. Yeah, well, I'm going to get to that. Chazz Says Anything helmet won't be needed. But I'll get to that. There's an announcement at the end. And I start today. I don't know if you're friends with me on Facebook. Same with Bucking Blue. I don't know if you're friends with me on Facebook. If you saw what I said, there's an announcement at the end. And I will get to that at the end. So stay on. Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, Naomi and Io Sky versus Morgan, Nia Jax, Raquel Rodriguez, Tiffany Stratton, and Candice LeRae. The reason why I said every single one of their names, it wasn't a good match. When these girls and women, let's be fair, when these women are trying to use weapons and they can't lift them, then don't use the weapon. Just wrestle. Do your moves and wrestle. It was painstakingly hard to watch. It truly was. Now, Io Sky with the trash can, she's getting good at this. If you haven't seen it, YouTube it. Io Sky, you see her name right there with the trash can. That was a heck of a thing to do from the top of the cage. Oh my God, yeah. Now, granted, the girls that were beneath her got in front of their, so to brace her fall. I get that. That's what they do to make it look good. But the girls on top, Ripley, Belair, Cargill, Naomi, and Io Sky won. Funny thing, I think it was Rhea who pinned Liv Morgan, and Raquel was actually handcuffed. That was amusing to me that Raquel Rodriguez was handcuffed. Anyway, next. So, okay. Those were the big matches. That was it. I think there was others I didn't really want to talk about. WWE Raw last night. Rhea Ripley takes on Raquel Rodriguez. That match was very good. That was the end match. That was a good match. Rhea wins that pretty much outright. Lyra, Valkyra, Zelina Vega, and Ivy Nile duke it out in the Women's Intercontinental Championship. It's first round triple threat match. Lyra wins that, and it was pretty definite who was going to win that. Zelina Vega and Ivy Nile, they're good wrestlers, but I'll get to something that I want to talk about with wrestling in a little bit. We got Drew McIntyre last night, officially back on Raw. They're trying to pump it up for Saturday night's main event, which I'll get to. I'm not loving it. Kofi Kingston and Woods speaking after turning their backs on Big E. I'll get to that in a minute. I have a comment or two on that. Final Testament and The Miz take on the Wyatt Six in an 8-man tag. That was great. Because now one of the Wyatt Six took out Paul Ellering from the Final Testament. He's the manager. Paul Ellering comes out and puts some dust in front of Uncle Howdy's face. It was an entertaining match. It wasn't a great match. It was entertaining. Raw's gotten okay. They've gone down a little since they've gone down to 2 hours. I'm hoping they go back to 3 once they go to Netflix. And then lastly, Seth freaking Rollins appears after calling out CM Punk after CM Punk did a pre-show interview. It was cheesy. It brought out Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn and Rollins, they apologized to each other. That was the drama soap opera portion of Monday Night Raw. Now, let me say this real quick before I go to Saturday night's main event. WWE equals NIL. If you know what NIL is, it's an NCAA term that is used for people to go through a trade portal to go from one college to another. They're doing that in WWE, and they're doing this ahead of Royal Rumble. That's got me thinking they have plans for some of these characters to do different things on different shows, and that's why they're doing this trade portal. Because they had a draft back in April, which they always do after WrestleMania. Now they're doing this NIL type thing, and you know what? That to each their own. If they want to do that in December, so be it. If that's the new thing for them, they can do that. You know, especially where they have multiple brands inside WWE. I love Goldust. He's in AEW now. He's not in WWE anymore. He's in AEW. I believe the Rhodes brother. He works for AEW because that's where That's where Cody Rhodes was. Cody Rhodes owned AEW for a while. He's now, and obviously Cody Rhodes is now part of WWE. But Dustin Rhodes is, if I'm correct, still in AEW and behind the scenes more than anything else. All right, so I should have put this too beforehand. So this happened also before last week. The New Day goes heel and DIY breaks up. We can get to that first before I get to the other thing. I get why you wanted to break up New Day or make them a heel. I also get why you wanted to break up DIY. Trying to get their singles career or team them up with other people. New Day against Big E. I got a funny feeling Big E's coming back. Just he says he's hurt. I got a funny feeling he's coming back. And I can see him teaming up with John Cena. Just a thought. Just a thought. So I'm good with this whole New Day and DIY stuff. It's fine. But can we go to a cruiserweight title? And not just for the men. Let's do it for the women. Like I said, Ivy Nile. Lyra or Zelina Vega, and there's other women. There's truly a lot of women that are lower in weight that can wrestle, that only can wrestle each other, and not the heavier girls like, let's say, Nia Jax. I'm sorry, Zelina Vega should not be wrestling Nia Jax ever. Okay. Maybe Michin, maybe. Michin would be the toughest cruiserweight, no doubt in my mind. Michin would absolutely be the toughest cruiserweight. So I'm pleading with the WWE. One day watch this episode at 1 hour and 19 minutes. And please put in the cruiserweight belts. You're bringing back every other belt. I don't know how much this Twitter thing is working with the speed. As I don't watch it. I don't know anybody that does. Maybe it's millennials that do, and good for you that you can get them to watch it. I'm working at 12 o'clock on a Wednesday. I'm at lunch, but the last thing I'm going to do is go on Twitter to watch for speed. It's not my thing. So, that being said, please bring back the cruiserweight belt. I would love to see it. We don't need the what was it? The hardcore belt. We don't need. We're past that. That was the Attitude Era of the 90s. That's the hardcore era. That needs to stay there. Because there's just certain things we can't do anymore. There's just no way. Okay. Almost done. Got a few more things here. Main event. Not main event. WWE Saturday Night's Main Event. That's what it is. If you remember the 1980s, in the late 80s. This was a big thing on NBC. It is usually 11:45 at night when Saturday Night Live wasn't on during the summer. It's back. It's on at 8 o'clock. I'm wondering if it's going to stay once it starts going to Netflix, when other wrestling events are going to Netflix. But Saturday Night Main Event is now, at least will be for 2 weekends, this weekend and 2 weekends from now, on NBC at 8 o'clock. Matches so far are Sami Zayn going against one-on-one against Drew McIntyre. I feel for Sami Zayn on that one, big time. I'll give you predictions in a second. Gunther defends World Heavyweight title against Finn Balor and Damian Priest, so that's a triple threat match. Women's World Championship is Liv Morgan versus Io Sky. And the undisputed WWE Championship is on the line. Cody Rhodes goes against his once best friend, Kevin Owens. My predictions are as follows. Drew beats Sammy, hands down. Drew beats Sammy. Sammy, this might be the quickest match. Damian Priest, I feel, wins back the world title while pinning Finn Balor, which means Gunther's going to want a rematch because he was not pinned. Write that down. I'm nailing it. I think that's what's going to happen. Because that's happened before. They tend to retread a little bit here and there, and that I could see happening. Io Sky, I feel defeats Liv Morgan. I think Liv Morgan has run her course to an extent. And, I think a lot, I hate to say this, I really do think the group she's in now, which I can't remember because it is what it is. My memory's shot. I think they're about to lose all their titles. I just do. I have a funny feeling they're losing all their titles. And I think Cody Rhodes will retain. That's going to be a bloodbath. Like, they're making this out to be like they hate each other. We'll see how that goes. I do think Cody Rhodes retains. I don't see him losing for a while. And obviously, don't forget, WWE Raw debuts on Netflix at the Intuit Dome. I'll get that right one day. Probably January 6th, I'll get it right. So that's the first show on Raw on Netflix for the new year. Now, did anybody at all watch The Simpsons Fun Day on Disney Plus? I did for 20 minutes. I couldn't take it after that. I wanted to watch real football. I might go watch it again now, just because I know what happened in the game. Because I saw the end. They showed the end on ESPN or some. I might have seen it on Twitter or something or Instagram, and they showed the last play where he went down 40 yards, and it was Lisa Simpson running and Homer chasing her. I thought that's funny. But I couldn't watch it for 2+ hours. Like, that just looked insane to watch, just because some of those characters were just doing moves like this, and it was very robotic, and I couldn't watch it. I wonder how other people felt about that. I truly do. All right, I want to talk about this real quick, and now we'll be quick. New Jersey Short Conference Boys Hoops preseason All Short team plus 100 players to watch. By Jake Matson of the Asbury Park Press. I put the question up. Are there any CBA players? CBA being my alma mater. Justin Furbacker, forward, senior. Charlie McCuller, guard, junior. Connor Andre, guard, and he's a junior. This last one, you'll know if you follow college basketball. The kid's name is Kevin Peichel. The last name is what you would know. Kevin Peichel's father is the basketball coach at Rutgers. Don't be surprised if this kid goes to Rutgers to play with his dad. He might have already signed. I don't know. But I'm going to be following these four guys. You got 2 seniors, 2 juniors, and the guards are going to probably be excellent guards. I can't wait for that. Got a comment. Sunday Fun Day was again. Yeah, if you have Disney Plus, it's there, so you can check it out. Yeah, it was actually a thing. Go figure. Now Monmouth Regional's got 2 too, so I'm gonna shout out the Monmouth Regional guys. They got 2 top 100 guys, so good for them. Michael Griffin, who's a guard and a junior, and Jalen Reeves, who's a guard and a junior. Monmouth Regional's where I grew up. My brothers and one sister went there. I have a bunch of friends from Monmouth Regional whose probably kids are going there. I might know that Michael Griffin. I know Griffins from back when I went to school at CBA and they were at Monmouth Regional. So there could be a Griffin who I know the parent. So that's why I'm calling them out. Good, these 6 kids. Let's hope they have good seasons this year. I'm going to follow them, see what they do. One more thing before I go to birthdays. The Michael K show is ending. Did everybody know that? If you follow Michael K, if you're in the New York area, New Jersey, Connecticut, maybe parts of Pennsylvania, if you know Michael K and you know he's the Yankee announcer and done that for over 20 something years, if not longer. And he's been doing the ESPN show for the last 22 years. Well, it's been him and Don LaGreca for the last 22. Peter's been on for the last 13, maybe 10. There was another guy before that, and he was the third. Now it's Peter Rosenberg. So, what's good about this is that they're actually not they're not leaving the air. It's the show that's ending. So Michael K will go to 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock on ESPN Radio, New York ESPN Radio. And Don and Peter with Alan Hahn will go 3 to 6 or 3 to 7, depending on what games are on ESPN Radio. I think it's a good change. And let's figure it this way. You know why they split up Michael K out of the group, in my opinion. He's the older of the 3. He's the first one's going to retire. So what I'm curious about, that's going to be the Michael K show or something like that. Well, because Stephen A has a show like that. Mike Greenberg has a show like that. What does Don and Peter and Alan Hahn have? That's going to be the intriguing name that I'm waiting to hear. And they all start on January 6th on ESPN Radio. So, or New York, ESPN New York Radio. So I know that day at work, I'm going to be listening. I'm going to have it on. I'm curious. I want to hear what that's going to be. And, it was a good run. Michael K, Don LaGreca, 22 years together. Damn good run. I hope to be them one day. Or one of them. Is that C4? No. I haven't drank C4 in a while, dude. It's cherry Pepsi. You can see it actually behind me right here. And my throat is getting so dry. Anyway, all right, we got birthdays of the week. So the 3 people that are there, if it's your birthday, I hope it is. Happy birthday. Let's go to yesterday's birthdays. Jerry Campy, happy birthday. I worked with him at Amazon, 37 years old. Which means if I worked with him 6 years ago, he was in his early 30s, and I was an old fart. Debbie LaShorn, that's a story. I'll be quick about it. If you're old enough to know about AOL and AIM, if you remember AIM, and AIM was you could talk to other people that you didn't know from other states, whatever, or down the street. I met this woman online when I was married to my first wife, okay? And one time we got to talking, the wife got to talking to her, nice woman, divorced woman, and one day when we drove out to see my now ex-wife's parents, dad and grandparents, we drove to Indiana. This woman lives in Indiana. We went to her house and we talked for hours, and we still communicate here and there online. But Debbie's such a nice person. Like from when I met her the one time, and I hope she has a great birthday, or had a great birthday yesterday. And Tammy Misden goes even farther back than Debbie. When I was with my ex-Jen at Monmouth Regional. Comment, I'm guessing this is start today saying happy birthday to everybody. I should get Mr. K on the show. I don't think that's going to happen until he retires. I truly don't think that's going to happen. I have a better shot at getting Peter Rosenberg, honestly, than I do Michael K. So, because Peter Rosenberg, he falls in the WWE line. He falls in radio, so Peter Rosenberg might be a little bit easier. I'd love to interview Don LaGreca. Michael Kay interview would be hard. Because that would take me 2 to 3 days just to figure out questions for him. That really would. I don't know if, like, what I would ask him that he hasn't already stated on his show for the last 22 years. All right, so today's birthdays. Andrea Botter, happy birthday, 54 years old. Happy birthday, Andrea. I know Andrea from my bowling years at Bradley Beach in the early 2000s. Tina Servacio McKerney, if you know the name, she's another popular one who I'm friends with on Facebook. She is a broadcaster on and has been on Fox News or Fox New York, not Fox News. I don't watch Fox News. Fox New York. She's been on Channel 9, Channel 2. She works with she also did 11, I believe. So she does a lot of the Mets and Yankees stuff. Excuse me. She's a sports caster for a bunch of different shows. So it's Tina's birthday today. Happy birthday, Tina. Robbie Kurt, my friend from many, many eons ago. His mother and father, or stepfather, actually bowled at Bradley Beach. I met Robbie. We have a lot of commonalities, but we've been out of touch. Weirdly enough, I live nearer to him when he was living here 20 years ago than he does now. He used to live in Clark. And now I work in Clark. Anyway. And then Will Schlitzie, happy birthday, 47. Will Schlitzie. So, knew him at Red Bank Catholic High School. I was at CBA. He was a couple years younger, as you could see. I'll be 49 at the end of this year, or next year coming up. So we're about a year and a half apart. Will dated a girl named Stephanie. See, my memory actually does go back that far. Both him and Stephanie are not together anymore. Stephanie's with someone else. He's with someone else. So but that was the group. That was one of the group boyfriend girlfriends that was sticking together for a while back then in my group that I was hanging around in. All right, friends' birthdays in the future. Tomorrow, Nicole Toscani Thomas. I'll be seeing her tomorrow. She bowls in my league. We'll have to say happy birthday. So I'll have to tell her she's on. I shouted her out. Happy birthday, Nicole. We'll see you tomorrow. Ted Fiolik. Ted is my accountant. He'll be turning 60 tomorrow. Happy birthday, Ted. He's a very funny guy. If you need an accountant and you're in the Middlesex area, he's a very good one. Omar Martin, happy birthday. Mark Guerin, happy birthday. Omar is married to not a classmate. She was a friend of actually my ex-girlfriend. Omar is down in South Jersey. We've hung out a couple times way back when. So happy birthday, Omar. And Mark Guerin was my manager at Acme, one of my many managers at Acme. So happy birthday to Mark. Thursday, Denise Flipchuk Sable, the sister to John Flipchuk. 56 years old on Thursday. Happy birthday, Denise. Michelle Nucio, 47. Michelle Nucio was... I knew in Eatontown. She was an Eatontown friend. She still lives in Eatontown from what I understand. And still goes by Nucio. So I'm not sure if she's married and divorced or just never married. I don't know. But happy birthday to Michelle, 47 years old on Thursday. Friday, Mary Gessner. She is a bowling director was Middlesex, now Union County. I think it's Union, or is it Somerset? It might be Somerset. The new county that we're in now for bowling. Mary Gessner is a director, married to another director. Bonnie McDonald, happy birthday, 67 years old. I worked with her at Acme, another Acme employee that I worked with. James Joyner. I want to say James was Amazon. There's a lot of Amazons I tend to have forgotten. I know him as James, or I knew him as JJ or something like that, But he's 49. Happy birthday. 2 comments. Happy birthday, everyone. Everyone, good night. I love this part of the show. Don't go away, start today. I have something to say. Don't go away. Okay. I have an announcement. We got Okay, also Terry Bernardo Connolly. She married the former mayor of Eatontown, Dennis Connolly. Happy birthday to Terry. Nancy Ray, also my ex-wife's aunt. It's her birthday on Friday. Saturday, one of my favorite stars at Amazon, Mary Cannon. Happy birthday on Saturday, 36 years old. Mary Ostrowski, and so two Marys on the same day that I know. Go figure. Mary Ostrowski, a Pennsylvania woman who I met through Beth. Her birthday is on Saturday. She'll be 58. Happy birthday. Lastly, Sunday, John Carter, formerly married to a friend of mine, now Laura Carter. Happy birthday, John, 42. Alpidius, one of the produce managers I worked for back in the day, for a very short time because I didn't work too much produce when I was at Acme. So Alpidius, 75 years old on Sunday. Happy birthday. One of the best bowlers, and I'm not sure he's a Hall of Famer yet. If he isn't, he should be. Rusty Thompson, 44 years old, younger than me and 10 times better than me at bowling. Happy birthday, Rusty. And then lastly, a classmate of mine, Jim Dolan. Jim Dowling. He's a classmate of mine at CBA. Happy birthday to Jim. Okay, so before I get to the episode, if anyone wants to join in the conversation, contact me, chazzroyalt@gmail.com. Let me bump this up. Oh, no, that's going down. Okay. So, like I said, anyone for the football pool, for the college football pool, that the conversation, that's the email you email me at. Okay. So, episode 64. You're reading that? The 2-3 people that were looking at it? Episode 64 will be on December 17th at 8 p.m. But I do have an announcement. That announcement is, I don't have it on here, so I didn't write it down. Chazz Says Anything, at some point in the future, most likely the near future, will be going off the air. For one reason. Because I'll be on a new podcast. It's a podcast that I will actually have a partner. It's in the early goings right now. It's going to be called Chazz and Jim Sports. It's actually already got a Twitter page. My partner is Jim LeBruno, who I've talked about before, was my source in the thing with the Yankees and the Mets. With it had to do with the father or the uncle. I've known Jim for a very long time. When I was a director back in USBC, Monmouth County USBC, he was the general manager at Strathmore. Got to know him pretty well. Okay, kept in touch here and there. He's now in Florida. He had his own podcast a year or so ago, maybe two, the Jim and Mac show. Did that for a while. He'll explain why that was, that ended up being not going away. I don't know if it was Mac. I don't know if it was Jim, or was it mutual. I don't know. What I do know is there is a future with me, with a partner, and it's not going to be on YouTube. At least it's not going to be live on YouTube. Okay? What we're trying to do, and like I said, it's very new, we're going to go live on Twitch. So we'll see how that goes. Okay. But that's the announcement. Chazz Says Anything will be going off the air sometime in 2025. Because there will be something else that's greater, in my opinion, for me as a whole. Okay. Comment. Let's see. So this means I have to dissolve the Say Anything crew. Probably. I mean, I hate to say it, but yeah, probably. But there will be something new. Chazz and Jim Sports will be the new thing. And it will be better when there's two people talking to each other. I promise you that. I've wanted this for the last 60 episodes. The early episodes of me bantering back and forth were great. I loved it. I miss it. because talking like this, it does nothing for my throat, and nothing good anyway. And sometimes you guys don't even stay on that long because I'm talking to myself, and I want that to be different. And with Jim, that will be different. I promise you that. So I'll be doing Chazz Says Anything until the end. Okay, and you'll know when the end is. So I'm hoping it's early January, but it could be longer. It depends on Jim. And Jim and I have discussed this. So, I'll keep going. I'll keep doing. If someone wants to come on at the end, near the end of this, and banter with me, I'm good with that. But no, I'm going to be moving on, and I want you to move on with me, because trust me, you'll love what you hear. The banter between Jim and I will be, at times, probably epic, depending on the topic. Like I banter at work, and I wish I could banter with other people like this here. Like, there's a guy I work with today that, if it wasn't for the fact I knew he was going to go home and go to sleep and probably sleep through this whole thing, I could have bantered with him today. And that would have been better than what I did for the last 100 minutes. But unfortunately, that's not always the case when you can't get the right people to actually want to work with you. But Jim is one of those right people that I want to work with. Well, you won't miss me if you follow me. So start today. I will put out where I'm going. You'll see where I'm going. I'll put it out here. Okay? And here's the best part. I think it's the best part. So we're going to be talking, and we're going to be doing this not just once a week, but twice. The idea is for us to do Monday night and Thursday night. Now, whether we go live or we stream it the next day, we'll see. But that's the plan. So I like that plan. Whether we go live Monday and Thursday and stream Tuesday and Friday, or we just go live period and it just streams. I'm good with that. But I want you guys to be live with me. Start today. I want you to come back. I'll speak for the Say Anything crew. You will be missed. That's fine. I appreciate that I'll be missed, but I won't be completely gone. I'll have a partner, and it will be great. I promise you that. All right, I think I've pontificated enough. So that next week I will have something there. It's gonna be 64, and it's gonna be different. Yeah, we're gonna have more NFL. I don't think there's gonna be too much more baseball, but anything's possible. Obviously, I'll be talking about what happened on Saturday night with wrestling, and also Saturday with the football. And I'll even talk about how many people I have in the College Bowl. Hopefully, it's more than 6. We'll see. So that's it. My 100 minutes are up, or plus 100 minutes. It's been fun. I'll see you all next week. I have my Yankee glass. I am confident that we will do something. And what I said in the beginning will aspire the current Yankee team, as it is constituted, to do better next year. On that note, I leave you guys. Arrivederci. Sayonara.